Alright, hello everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Doing the bum shift after Andre finished his 4-hour stream. And exciting stuff. This deck list I've seen a lot of is finally out there in the wild, is published and there to see. And I think it's a really interesting one, and I'm excited to give it a shot. I think something I need to do as well at some point is write up my deck lists that I played. And it's interesting how much these actually kind of have converged in like a weird way. Like, I think they have very different ideas, but they kind of, I don't know, directionally I think some of the power pieces in both are pretty similar. So yeah, this is Pylu's Freedom list. There was a refined yeah, this one they feel like is the more refined list, and I think it's an interesting idea. So it's Tag Me Freedom. Freedom, for those of you who are a little bit newer, access any X fires counters. Trash the non-agenda card you are accessing. X is equal to that card's res or play cost. This ability, use the ability only once per turn. So I don't know. I think this, the idea here is that we can get away with, like, it's interesting where the econ of this deck is. I think it's one of the most interesting parts. Is it's Hot Pursuit, Moshing, Raindrops, 2x Strike Fund, but playing 46, 3 Devil Charms, 2 Gotchas, 3 Solidarity Badges, 2 Crews, a Counter Surveillance, a Manuel. But, like, the econ is Fermentor, Consume, Hot Pursuit, Moshing, and the 2 Strike Funds. So this doesn't have that much econ. Which puts it in a really interesting place. I think there's some things I have suspicions of, or like, part of the reason I think I have generally felt comfortable with this is I'm playing a lot of Mavirus in my meta or in my decks at the moment. And I don't think you want to play this deck into a Mavirus meta. But I think this is doing some really powerful stuff. And I think one of the things is that Crew is just a very impactful card. I think it's interesting, actually, this deck is on 3 Devil Charms, but only 2 Crews. I think that's in part because, oh no, it doesn't even help God of War. It helps God of War a little bit, but not that much. God of War, I think, is mostly a tag generator. A single Counter Surveillance, I think, is very interesting, and a single Manuel, I think, is also pretty interesting. I think the Manuel makes some sense for applying a high amount of pressure, but I think let's just give this a shot. I think there's been some lag today, so this might be a little, like, this probably be a bit of a slow stream night, and it might be a short one, or I might try and do some other stuff. I think I want to try and do some video production, or get back into video production. I think I find that, I was talking with Andre a bit, like, live streaming is fun, but video production has its own set of joys, and I think could be a better experience. I mean, this seems like a good hand. We've got some draw, we've got fermenters. The consume is probably not like exactly what we want. And double ice here is not ideal, I think, but yeah, I think we just freedom trash that. And yeah, we can throw down the Gachapon and try and trigger the Gachapon off turn here. Yeah, contesting the Rashida was definitely an option. I'm going to assume this is roughly similar to Sokka's list, and I might be playing this. This is one of those cases where I'm not 100% sure what the line is supposed to be. Like, the Crew is quite useful in this list, but we're going to be, our ability to break otherwise, I think, is pretty limited. Attacking HQ early is generally a line I like, so we might try and Gachapon at the end of turn here. Devil Charm, Gotcha, Manuel, Moshing, Steel Skid, Strike Fund. So we whiffed. Okay, so we definitely need a Devil Charm. I think Manuel is actually pretty important for us. I think I want this. I only get one of these. This is a very econ heavy matchup, but I think I need to draw more. That's a rough start for sure. 12 credits. Draw. So I think this is draw and then raindrops cut stone server 1 because I'll be credit perfect here if it's an Anansi. It's not an Anansi, that's fine. Devil Charmer is definitely worth installing here. This is the third. I mean, this is probably the third Rashida, which is definitely unfortunate for me. But we'll keep going here. Oh, it's not the third Rashida. Thimblerig going on to R&D. Okay. Spin Doctor, interesting. So Stratagem is trying to get some momentum going, I guess. Are we going to see Spin Doctor overwritten here? Could be Lacosta. Could be the other Anoetic Void. Our Fermenter ticking up here is pretty nice. Okay, so that's 2 upgrades. That's Void and Lacosta, most likely. Solidarity Badge is pretty good. So we have lots of toys. We just don't have any way of getting in. The deck packs, what is it? 3 God of Wars, 3 Botuluses, and 2 Crew, which is at this point, Crew is getting us in. So that's actually pretty solid for us. We're just sort of waiting for any of those to show up. Okay. You know what? We can... Oh, we can't Botulus and Hot Pursuit unless we also click the Fermenter. And if we do that, we're out some tempo here. This is an awkward draw. This might just be like install the Botulus here. We're gonna run R&D. Say no. Let's break this subroutine. I guess I could install the consume here, but I don't think I particularly want to. No, I don't really want to trash the hedge fund. I think that's just too much value for me. So let's click for a credit. Am I ditching a labor rights or am I trying to save 2 hot pursuits? I think I'm going to try and save 2 hot pursuits and we're going to see. But, so opponent's going to res Lacosta. Oh, it's a Charlotte. Okay, so we've got Lacosta. It's probably still Anoetic Void. I think we're on 1 pinhole, so that's actually is a nice target for us. This turn is probably just click for... Oh, okay. Yeah, it's probably just click for 10. And draw a bunch. I feel like this deck was not designed for this style of matchup. But that's alright. There's not agendas in hand, so I wouldn't be shocked if they actually let this through. If there was agendas in hand, they would probably be pushing out of server 1 here. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, there's a chance I'm dead. They have to boost each trace by 4, so it's 7 each time, 14. Oh no, they have to boost each trace by 5. So yeah, I'm dead here if they're on punitive. It's just the nature of the beast. I'm guessing that was the only agenda in their hand. I guess that, you know what, they didn't draw a bunch, so they probably don't actually have it here. So we just basically got some points, which is nice. We know that R&D is safe for a couple turns here. So there's just, I guess, not that much pressure on me to do anything. Like, I would love to trigger this solidarity badge once this game. I don't think that's just not going to happen for a bit. I don't know if chat's not working or if there's just no one here. It's a low attendance stream so far, which is not super shocking because I've been very inconsistent. But yeah, that's going to be a virus. I guess they're on a virus, which is not good for us, but that is just the nature of the beast. Let's just get some stuff down and sequencing things. Yeah, that being a virus is not nice, but I think we just have to go after it and kind of try and grind some value out. Because I don't know, this is like one of those matches where theoretically I feel like you're not... Maybe I need to apply more pressure to the remote, but it was definitely a bit of a rough draw for doing that. I guess I just raindrops cut stone server 1 first. I think that's actually more likely to be the server that's softer to hit. And if it's not, it's not, but that's okay. Okay, so they're representing a 5-3 there. Yeah, if I had a crew, that would be very nice here. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Okay, I did not realize that was that level of manual. No, we will give it -1 and break the subroutine. Okay, this is a decent start. Nope. Event is bad. Alright, I don't think we can die here, but I do have to check out after this. Hey, Silas. Happy... How long have you been playing? Oh, happy affiliate anniversary. Oh, I did not realize that. That's kind of cool. And how long have I been playing? I've been playing off and on since 2014. Okay, this Hermes is actually somewhat nice here. Because now I think opponent can actually just let this cook for a bit. But yeah. And it actually looks like that's what they're doing, which I think is very a very nice line. I think I am going to end up hot pursuing HQ. Don't love it, though, because it's giving them reses. This is just such an awkward start for this deck, where it's just like, oh, we had no real window to apply pressure. Oh, yeah, that's very cool. I didn't... So, yeah, Silas, like, I'll be honest, the decks I'm playing right now are not very friendly. Like, they're a very odd orthogonal deck. So the idea here is that I'm playing this thing that says once per turn, I can remove virus counters. So I'm getting them on here. I'm getting them on here. These cards can get them. I can use those to trash cards that normally I could not interact with. The problem being, I'm playing against an opponent that is playing this like very heavy, what they call glacier style, where there's a lot of ice on the board. And so I have to make some odd choices about like what I'm able to handle. So like I'm playing this economy that's very unusual, and then the corporation is doing some mean things to me. Um, my opponent is playing some stuff that is very surprising. Um, so I'm not quite sure what to think about it. Okay. Hey, Lazy. Yeah, I'm interested to see. It's my opponent is actually playing around it correctly here, which definitely is going to make my life a little bit harder. Um, One challenge with this list also is that I'm going to be very click compressed on playing a counter surveillance. Um, so maybe this isn't a virus because I feel like they would have wanted me to tank an entire Cloud Eater here. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Um, okay, so they're playing Oops all sentries and code gates. So they want me to hit this Cloud Eater twice. I don't feel like I want to oblige them on that right away. I guess this bounce is actually better. I guess, so this bounce prevents them from... Oh, you're right, Miss CC. It is totally a ganked on HQ. So we just need to let this God of War tick up. Yeah, ganked is a great shout out here. So yeah, this is a card that says the first time each turn the runner passes a res code gate or sentry, you may pay 1 credit or just one card from HQ. If you do, the runner encounters that ice again. Oh, oops, I did this wrong again. My goodness. Okay, so what I might do is we're going to draw again. And then I think we're going to run archives 2 times. Because what the threat is actually going to be... I'll have to run archives once again next turn. But the idea of this line is going to be that I'm going to install crew, run archives, install crew, and then run HQ, destroy the Cloud Eater by spending 4 leech counters, taking a tag off of crew, and then I'll just eat up the Cloud Eater. And that will eat the Sisyphus Protocol trigger. Oh no, it won't actually. But I'll get to start making runs on HQ, which I think is oh, Helheim servers is a thing, but I guess I'm a little bit less worried about Helheim servers. Maybe I shouldn't be. Like, none of my rig actually matters that much. So we're going to run archives. Ooh, we actually get a Spin Doctor pop out of this. That makes this run very valuable. We're going to do a crew. Now we're going to run HQ. If it is a Helheim, we're going to hurt a little bit here. Okay, a virus, that's fine. Honestly, I don't care. I survived this, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that being a virus. Wait, why did that do... Oh, that does 3 net damage. Oh. GG. Looking at the Nationals running into Bristol. Was confused to see the tickets limited to 130. Don't know if I'm reading too much into the number, but would have thought that more people would be willing to watch a 10 Nationals. So Netrunner is just a pretty small game right now, Silas. Like, realistically, yeah, let's just see. Yeah, it's funny. If I can find the 3rd Devil Charm, I'm okay there. But that is a little bit of a cursed matchup, I think, if I draw the way I did. So, like, 130 is just a large event size for Netrunner. This is a very, very small community. So last year at Worlds was 250. I think Worlds this year is going to probably be about 200. So 130 is a very nicely sized event, and given the amount of profits and stuff, I like. Yeah, 130 is going to be, I think, the second biggest event of the year. There was, you know, it's interesting. One of the things that like I'm not quite sure, like it's kind of surprising to me, but I like my sense is there's more No Signal Games Netrunner players in the U.S., but Europe consistently has the largest tournaments, and I don't know exactly why that is. And it might be that there's actually more people playing in Europe than the continental, than in North America. Um, but it's an interesting observation. I don't know. Some of that is like, oh, is it people from North America are more easily able to affordably travel to Europe? Is it that Europe has better connections and so you get a higher percentage of people who are still playing that go out to events? Um, I don't know. But yeah, Silas, that's Netrunner is a little bit on the smaller side. I do think it is a great game and it is a fantastic community, and the community is like weighted a lot. Yeah, the game it's a little bit of a hidden gem at the moment, I think. It was like it being run by a fan collective rather than uh like a major publishing company definitely has some impact on the size of it. I hope that can change over time. I'm trying to make it work, or I'm trying to help in the ways I can, both by streaming and by running the organized play. And the game has been bigger at times, like when it back in 2015. Uh, it was still never that big, but it would have like 70-person regional events. It's funny, they still even back then had world tickets capped pretty aggressively. So the 250, like I think they had less seating than would have expected, but the business model of Netrunner just is very different for how you can commodify and how much money you make out of organized play um, as a company. This is not a very good hand. Um, this hand's better, but so it's just like it changes the incentives a little bit. All right. So our opponent's playing Asa. This is one of my favorite ideas of all time. It basically just says, so what this is actually saying is when you install a card, you just get to put another card on the table in the same server. Opponent is going for this line of just icing everything up against Freedom, which I think is a pretty reasonable choice. I'm going to challenge this remote first. They're going to stop me with this, which is an interesting res. Let me get this leech down. It starts to put a little bit of threat on Chicky Drake servers. There are some 3-cost ice that can be rezzed here, but none of them are particularly strong. The two candidates I'm looking at are Gatekeeper and Drafter, and both of them are pretty bad in this board state. Sansan is unusual, but very interesting in Asa. And I think it's a little bit underplayed, but not. No, that's not really true. It's very hard. But the idea of this is it makes advancing much easier. The economy is usually the hard part, but with a regolith mining license, that makes some sense. So let's see if we can price into something that helps us. I think the crew is probably a good angle here. I could go after this for the last 6 credits. I think I want to hit HQ instead, though. Yeah, I would definitely recommend grabbing Gateway. I actually like Gateway's production values are really good, and the U.S. has a fairly active. If you are in the U.S., it's a fairly, you can find stuff in a lot of different places. Okay, yeah, we will freedom that. I don't feel like I actually need to run again, but let's just think it's okay. Yeah, still the Sand. That was maybe a waste of a run. That actually is the kind of thing where I'm like, oh yeah, this is where I'm not playing super well. Making that second run on the HQ is not super valuable, especially because I know one of the two cards there. There's an argument for being made that like I should be attacking my opponent's econ here, and instead of crewing through HQ, I can go and attack the regolith here because I'm a little bit of a ways off from picking that off. But I think honestly with a Gachapon install, I can go and do it. Who is playing Reverse Infection? Like, that card is, I'm sorry, just bad. Like, yeah, it milled me a tiny bit, but like that has the potential to like actually make me money, which is just very odd. Well, there's got to be better uses of one influence than this card, but oh wow, I'm gonna get stopped by a pop-up window. Yeah. Okay, so I could have Gachapon there, but I actually think it was better to do it this way. Okay, so opponent is playing a unusual deck, I guess is the way I would phrase this. Like, this is not... Pop-up window is a card that's very rarely seen anymore. It used to be a staple of the game. Basically just changing money between the two players. But we're not seeing it as much these days. Okay, we'll run at the Spin Doctor. I think just getting that off the table is fine. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll trash that. Let's draw. Yeah, we can Raindrops Cut Stone R&D now. Okay, let's pop a Gachapon. We got a Crew, a Devil Charmer Hermes, a Liberated Steelskin, and the price. Once again, we whiff. That's not a good sign, I'm going to be honest. I think these are the correct ones. I don't know. This is... I think there's something I'm not... Like, maybe what I have to go and do is go and watch some replays of this list. Because right now I'm definitely flailing a bit. And maybe I was supposed to Raindrops Cut Stone into HQ there. Okay, is opponent going to res... Oh, wow, they have the third Spin Doctor. And so that's the Sand Spin Doctor and a different upgrade. Probably a Managarm Skunkworks based on the fact that they did not res it, which they would typically do with a Tranquility Home Grid. Apologies, Silas. I'm like just naming cards off the top of my head. I should probably try and at least describe what my cards can do here. And I'm just doing a very bad job as I'm trying to play at a fairly fast pace. Oh, you're right, Kurt. Yeah. They can't... It definitely has to be a Managarm because you can't have Tranquility and Sand together. Because there's weird edge case rules. You know, it's funny. I was playing 2 hours ago with Balram Wu, and we were having so much lag playing our Eternal match against each other. But seems to be good now. Okay. I would love to oh, okay. We're going deep into the credit tank. Part of me thinks that I can just Botulus here. Run R&D. Provided this doesn't end the run. Oh, it's another Naja. Okay. Yeah, you can fire Unbroken Subroutines on that. We're just going to keep drawing. I'm going to keep drawing. Okay, this is not an ice I was expecting. It's a pretty unpopular ice. It gets broken for 1 credit by a lot of things in the meta. So it's just not really worth spending the time on. But hey, what can you do? This is a 3-click run, which is like a little bit funky. But I don't really have the tools. Like I can botulus this, but I don't really want to. Naja is a Bioroid ice. This is a type of ice that is played by the Haas Bioroid faction. They will have this thing that lets me spend a click to break their subroutines. They're meant to be semi-sentient ice, so I can spend time to deal with them. Yeah, we'll get rid of that guy. Okay, so opponent is playing opponent playing freaking like, no, they can't be playing Jupstad, but maybe they're just playing salvo testing. I think they might be a salvo testing player. That is my guess here. Salvo testing is a 5-3 agenda. Let's. Oh, you know what? Let's get my other thing going. Give me a second. Oh, I guess not. Okay. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. So, Solidarity Badge is going to draw me a card. Let's Steelskin Scarring. Hot Pursuit HQ. I think this is just going to be install a Botulus here. And then just run server 1. This has to be an end the run to do anything. It's probably going to end the run, but if it doesn't, then I'm in a pretty happy. Opponent having no cards in hand is definitely unfortunate, but that's okay. Next turn, it's probably just install Manuel and then run R&D. We'll see 2 cards. That seems pretty solid. Okay, this is a Spin Doctor red, so this is going to be a card with a discard effect. No, okay, it's just trying to play around my ability a little bit. This is an odd one. Okay, now we're going to res a Managarm, I assume. I do have, yeah. Okay, so we're going to just trash the Managarm, I think. So Managarm reads, whenever the runner approaches the server and the runner will say either spend 2 clicks or pay 5. We have to pay 5. We'll access the Managarm first, and we'll trash this for 2 virus counters. We'll access this. Okay, I don't particularly care about Vovo. I'll trash the Spin Doctor because I don't care about my own money that much. I don't do anything to that Sansan. Because next turn I can click the Fermenter for 6, install the Consume, install Manuel, run HQ, and I probably get a trash off in there. Okay, so what did the opponent do? Clicked to install, paid 2, click to advance, and click to gain a credit. Okay, so Solidarity Badge is going to draw me a card. Don't particularly care about tags. The botch list is interesting here. Consume. Let's run HQ. Nope. Let Unbroken Subroutines fire. This is an additional cost. Must trash a card. Which definitely makes things interesting. Ooh, I can't actually trash that. That is not what I wanted to see. You know what? We're just going to put a Botulus on this guy, as silly as that looks. These Najins actually proving to have some real value here. If this is a salvo, I will have to applaud. No, it's an Ico. That makes some sense. I think that's pretty bad for my opponent, unless they happen to get the other agenda in hand, but I guess actually I can't check HQ, so I might just be dead from hand here, but we'll see. I don't know, this is sort of what I was worried about with this list, is it was going to feel very awkward, but maybe I just need to spend more time clicking to draw, or like clicking the Steelskin Scarrings to draw and stuff. Like, I think, you know, rightfully, people that understand how to play this deck can just be mocking me for how I'm playing it right now. Do I want to trash this? I think I probably do. That Botulus, Solidarity Badge and Consume. I think Arm Skunk Works we cannot do anything about. Always. And then we're just going to click to draw a card and hope that my opponent does not have the last 3-2 in hand, which is actually somewhat plausible. That's bad. Woof. GG. Oh well. That's wild. Turn 11 and I still have 17 cards in my stack. That's not good. We've had 2 whiffs on Gachapon. How likely is that? We only have 14 actual hits on the Gachapon. Why are we running Gachapon? Huh. This is interesting. I feel bad to lose to Najin for the first time in that many years, but let's, you know, this deck I think has a learning curve. I think I need to be clicking to draw more, or just playing my I think part of this is I'm used to playing Patchwork, so I'm like, oh, I gotta hold my Steel Skins and my Strike Funds, and that's not what you're doing with this list. It would be my assumption. But yeah, okay. And let me make sure that this guy is. Ooh. Yeah, this is going the wrong thing. Oh, it's not again. Let's get beat up here. Let's see. Yep, we're just playing against all this stuff today. Okay, I look forward to seeing what we'll be playing against tomorrow as well. Not the Embolus deck, don't worry. I don't know that I built X to doubt. This hand's pretty good other than Manuel. Okay, great. That is pulled up properly. So I will try and remember to use this to pull up cards. Let me move my face around, and we're going to pull this down. Okay. So Earth's Sea Station is not readable, unfortunately, which is a real bummer. This ID currently says it costs me 6 credits to initiate a run on server 1, but Naligan can only have a single remote server at a given time. If I make a successful run on HQ, I flip his ID over, which is what's going to happen here. Yeah, we'll save ourselves a credit. We will install Fermenter, and we will run back at HQ. I'm guessing this is an Afshar because he didn't... Oh, it's a hammer. Oof. How much do I care? I mean, I lose the Fermenter, which is not ideal, but... Rip. Okay. Amusingly, I'm tagged. So it's credit, credit, install. So we can just go and check this. Let's go leech, run R&D. We'll pay 1 to trash this. We'll run server 2 because there's some 1-cost things that can happen here that I don't love. Okay, we'll run back into R&D here. And we'll freedom trash that. Now again is only on 2 credits, so I want to keep his econ low. I kind of want to just install Manuel and run R&D here, but I feel like that can't be right. Okay. Yeah, I think playing this slow is okay. I'm going to put the Botulus here. Next turn I can raindrops cut stone. I don't... So this hammer is disincentivizing. Oh, I didn't run to get the subliminal going. That's a bummer. Yeah, there's no installs here that make much sense. Let's raindrops cut stone. I think R&D is a slightly more likely thing here. Yeah, let's get rid of that. This no embolus is a suspect term here. I'm gonna click for a credit, I think. Flip, draw, wait. Why would we click to flip and then not put something in the remote? That seems odd to me. Agendas are leaving HQ. Let's draw. And we're going to click for another credit. Actually, no, we're not. Make a run on archives. Yeah, that's fine. Nope, you can trash my leech. And you can trash my solidarity badge as well. I don't particularly care about these. Okay, what's the discard here? I think it might be the Manuel. Might actually be the solidarity badge. I'm not sure I'm getting that many singles here, but the leech is like part of my engine. But like Devil Charm Crew is part of the plan here. Draw. Strike Fund. Devil Charm. I think this is probably an NGO front. Actually, it has to be an NGO front. I was supposed to run R&D that turn. It being an NGO front means maybe I'm not supposed to. Okay, that's probably a Chrysium grid now on HQ. Let's put this Botulus here. And we'll put down a Hermes in the off chance that this is a 5-3. But I think now the game's actually on 12 here. Yep. So I think we're going to see an install double advance insert for 3. Yep. Okay. Let's go leech. Draw because of sequencing. Let's see if I can trash something. Yeah, this is probably a trash. And credit. Or just a credit here, I guess. So this is going to be an SDS. He's going to blow up one of my things. Yep. Well, I mean, if you're going to give me an open R&D, I'll just go into R&D, I guess. So let's draw. Let's run R&D. See an archer. That's not great. Let's install a fermenter and click for a credit. Archer seems a little bit funky. I guess there might be some eminence in here. I'd love to have more than a single crew here. I don't know if I'm just rolling a lot of bad matchups or something. I just feel so useless right now. I think I'm going to need to try and convince Pailu or someone to teach me this list. Because it's just not doing a lot for me. Silas, you're asking, are the matchups score-based? Well, so chess is not... I would not call chess score-based. Like, winning with more material isn't any better than winning with less material. The points matter. Thank you. Sorry, you mean like oh, so there's no no. These are all games on JNet, which is what this is called, Jinteki.net, are purely for like there's no ELO or anything on the line. Yeah, this just feels like I'm doing a lot of nothing here. While my opponent's just like slowly assembling a Doom setup. Okay, if I draw a crew, no, I don't. I cannot draw a crew. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a crew. Only has taken me 20 minutes to like. I don't know. This feels so suspicious. Yeah, this is a Christian grid, so I can't hot pursuit anyway. Oh, it's a send a message. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so I think this is like just a very like this is I just have to try and hope. So like the power of this deck I think is like crew is quite good at blowing some things open. And I think that's the thing that like people were maybe underplaying a bit. This list has felt just so clunk like, and like, to be fair, right, I have not drawn a moshing in any of the three games so far. I've drawn two prices in the three games, and I've whiffed on two gachapons. So like, I've probably hit a little bit of a rough run out. um but like, I'm just locked out here. um And like, yeah, I think there's an idea that like, hey, like Pylu brought this to NANPC Boston, or I think Boston Nationals, which was a GG. Um, A could know that there was going to be some strong asset players there, right? Um, and so this deck is going to be great when the corp is playing no ice or very little ice. And the same was true at Cascadia. Like, um, there's some very popular low ice decks in the meta, and we've hit some slightly high ice kind of permutations. But I don't know. So what we're gonna do next, I think, is play the list I've been running. Hey, Daria. Um, because like, genuinely, this like, so I've not played against Pylu playing that freedom list. I haven't played against them because I have not done well enough at tournaments that A were at. Um, which, is its own condemnation. I've played against two other people playing that list, and frankly, like, one pretty comfortably. But I was at the, part of me is like, oh, that's probably because, like, I'm playing decks that are playing virus in them. But, like, and we did lose once to a deck that was playing with virus, and that hosed us. We saw Daria just did a manual purge. That was very reasonable. And we've played against decks that just hit lots of ice pretty quickly, and we didn't draw into our pieces. Like, maybe it's worth noting that, like, we missed God of War on every single price. Yeah, like, missing on the gachapons, not drawing or hitting on prices is not great. Not seeing any moshings is tough. Um, so I don't know. I think there's like some possibility that like I'm not playing very well, like I'm not drawing enough. I'm treating the deck as an aggro deck, and it's a little bit more, especially against these ice heavy matchups. Like, just draw because crude Chisel Charm is very good. I think BD is actually not a trivial matchup for this Hosh, but I think it will be an interesting one. This is not quite enough hand. Um, yeah, this is a much better hand. Oh, this is actually a smashing hand. Yeah, this is like... oh, I have some audio doubling happening. I don't know how I could be having audio doubling. Huh. That's really weird. It's fine on Twitch. Interesting. I don't know. Do I trash this Tranquility Home Grid? If I trash this... Okay. Eric, it might be you. I'm going to blame you now. If I trash this, I lose a lot. Okay. So this is very nice. I basically am just going to get to... So Hoshiko is another flip ID, and unfortunately all the flip ID images are not working right now, which is a real pain. I probably did need to run HQ that turn, but just being Rashida would have been very annoying. But now I'm going to get to draw 3 cards a turn, which is very nice, and that will let me apply some real pressure. Oh wow, using Tranquility Home Grid to draw a card. So there is no ice in this hand. So definitely some good time to apply stuff, some pressure onto centrals here. I mean, some of it is like I actually probably don't need to go super fast, because if they're not drawing ice, like their agendas aren't going anywhere for a while here. Yeah, that's what I figured. We'll trash this. Done. Last click, I'm just going to install this. Pitching a labor rights. I think the Ice Carver is actually quite good in this matchup. And like, yeah, opponent is completely flooded, right? PD does not have this many cards that are not ice in their deck. Okay. So this is Leech, install Crew, Patchworking to put down a Strike Fund. Then we run HQ, try and steal an agenda. That works. Now we run Server 1. And most ice we can kill here. We might have to take a tag. But no, we don't have to. It means we can't trash a Rashida, but if this was a 3-2, which I kind of suspect it is. Okay, it is a Rashida. That's a bummer. But still, we did not, you know, it's an okay exchange for us overall. We're going to get our final turn of Earthrise here. There's going to be some ice going up. But I think I'm still actually feeling comfortable, though not actually ahead right now, because I spent time pressuring that remote. I guess I get to pressure that remote again next turn at no cost, and it's just going to force Arlik to spend his tempo trying to keep me out. And then I'll get to rip a price off. Oh, I wonder if Jaden's going to ask me to order my triggers here. Because Hoshiko is, if you starts on the side that says if you access any cards this turn, at the end of your turn, gain 2 credits and flip this ID. And then the side that we're on right now, which is the digital side, says at the start of your turn, lose a credit and then draw a card. And now Daily Cast is also a start of your turn trigger, so I can order these so that I lose my credit first, then I get my Daily Cast money. Okay, this is fine. So I think this actually runs Server 1 first. I want to get my opponent to invest on defending before things go there. That's okay. It's not ideal, but that's fine. I could just install another Earthrise. But I think I'm actually okay to attack HQ here. Let's just slow the opponent down. If they found the third Rashida, that is what it is. 2 Tatubolas, I feel like it's unusual. It's a little aggressive, but... Okay, that's probably a little bit better for me than an off-rolled office, but definitely interesting. So I think this would be click 1 price, click 2 run R&D, barring if we get the Amakua. No, actually, if we get the Amakua, it's definitely run R&D. Okay, Bran on the remote. It's going to be marginally annoying, but I don't think too bad. So let's hit the price. And we whiff completely. Sick. Let's run R&D. pay 1 Trash Void. I think we'll run R&D again. Hit a hedge fund. Then we'll install this Earthrise. We'll use our Patchwork to lower its cost by 2, pitching a Steel Skin, and we'll draw 2 cards. Yeah, I don't know. This feels like it's... I don't know. I feel like I'm able to interact, and my draw is just generally a little more consistent. I'm also playing 3 crew. I'm much more all in on the crew strategy here. I think I'm going to draw first here. Did not get what I wanted. I think I'm going to pitch the Stone Ship. I think that's the worst of these cards. Frustratingly, I'm still going to lose for basically the same reason of not drawing enough. Let's just try and keep my tempo up. I can maybe land a diversion next turn if it's relevant. If it's not, it's going to get dicey pretty fast. Not finding an Amakua was unfortunate. There's 3 of them in the remaining half of my deck, which is just a little bit of bad luck. A luminal score is very bad for me. It might mean that the game's actually over if I don't draw Amakua here. Yeah, so it's draw Amakua off of Hoshiko or the Earthrise. Run Archives. Run Server 1. And I'll be able to make it work. And I think that has to be... Yeah, that has to be a Manic Arm. So I will be able to pay the 5. I just have to draw an Amakua here. Oh... That's really bad. 18 cards and I can't find it. Jesus. Okay, I just have to win off of 2 runs on R&D here. Oh, man. Oof. This is very frustrating. Okay. No, the game is actually now over. Oh my goodness. Man. What a weird one. GG. Oh my goodness. Find a single Amakua. Oh my goodness. I'm just not drawing well today. Turn 7, I drew 30 cards, 29 cards. Couldn't find a 3 of. Oh, it's only a 2 of. That's fair. Okay, it's only a 2 of. But yeah, lol. 2 crews would have also worked here. But so it goes. Oh, I actually needed to have it on the first click. Oh, no, yeah, because of the MIC, but anyway. We're going to try and win a game today. Yeah, corpse scoring out that quickly was definitely unfortunate, maybe I need to check HQ. I don't love just singling HQ for fun, even when I know they're flooded. But so 3 turtles is an interesting idea. I think there's a lot of little tweaks you could look at. This is the list. This list was basically, I should say, is completely credited to Jonas. I think this is a playable hand. It's like tight, but I think it's playable. Because this is draw, run server 1, run server 3. Oh no. Oh, that's a good draw. This is patchwork, install a cast, spoil pitch a leech here, I think. All right, so opponent has a lot of cash here. Might suggest that they're on a punitive counter-strike plan, which is might slow me down a little bit. Click 1-2 diversion of funds seems all right. Let's run server 2 now. And then we're just going to click to draw, I think. There's just enough things that could give me 2 tags on server 1 that I'm a little bit scared. Yep. No worries. Just drag the 2 cards back onto R&D and re-res. Yeah, I will trash that, and then we'll draw a card. Ooh, hey, there's our Amakua. I guess maybe I'm giving Epiphany a trigger there, but I like getting rid of spin doctors when you can. If we could oppo, I deserve it, but okay, let's draw. Let's install the Amakua, paying for it with the patchwork. We will run HQ. Now we're just going to draw another card. Yeah, I guess so. Like one thing. All right, Silas, have a good night. You know what I will say is I'm not very good at making beginner friendly streams. I would definitely suggest you check out the Metropole grid. He is a much better new player, intro to the game, talks through his cards, talk through his line a bit more. So I would definitely recommend checking him out. I also will say I've done some educational content that I think is a little bit better set up than this stream has been. Mani Sanai, does a Mani Sanai need to die? Yeah, I think it probably does. Let's draw again. Let's play a price. Ooh. Okay. So what did I trash? Strike Fund, a Leech, an Earthrise, and a Steel Skin. Fantastic. Yep, we'll install an Earthrise Hotel. Fantastic. And then let's install a daily cast, pitching a Strike Fund to make it cheaper. And we should be all set. Next turn we get to put down the bones, clear out servers 3, 4, and 6. Opponent is probably going to score Stoke the Embers here. Actually, no, they're not going to yet. Um, but yeah, I guess this is like one of those things that I'm feeling when I'm playing this style of list is that like it's turn 5. I've seen 22 cards out of my deck. The Freedom list, I do not feel like had the capacity to do that. And that is part of why I like prefer like these decks are doing similar things, but I feel like this one's doing something a little bit more powerful. If I hit a Spin Doctor here, I'm a little bit sad for sure. Okay. If opponent wants to dump a bunch of money into Monte Sanai, that's fine. I don't think any of my cards are actually that important here. Oh, right. I have to hit Be the Trace and then actually go and click OK. I have to confirm, which is honestly reasonable. All right, one day Amakua will get his second virus counter, and I'll be able to actually break some ice. But until that time, we're just going to run at people aggressively. To be fair, turn 5 and having chewed through half the stack is wild. Yeah, I agree. It's probably honestly not healthy for the game that I can consistently get through half my stack in 5 turns. Like, I think long term that's going to pose some challenges to the design team where if you give Anarch a trick shot, they're going to find all of them by turn 5 or like find 3 of them by turn 5, right? Like that's a scary thing to think about in terms of design. Excuse me. To just have to always balance around the fact that one of your factions is going to get through their deck and get value out of getting through the deck that quickly. Okay, so I probably do need to go trash this Amani Sinai. Yeah, there's a lot of consistency in the game right now. I'm not actually that scared of the powers that be, I think. Let's hit a price. I think actually it's the daily casts over the Stargate. Stargate's very good, though. I think I actually care more about trashing because it's the Beal's not on top. I think I would rather trash the Rashida. Okay. I don't need 2 Earth Rises. I don't know if I actually need this Ice Carver. We give Anarch back Inject, and then they'll get their trick shots while trying to mill themselves. Yeah, that would be wild. Okay, so we're gonna Ice R&D now that Stargate is down. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think the problem for opponent here. Oh, they do get to install the Beal off the top rope. I hope that they're not going to try and Hollow Man here. Oh, so Hollow Man must be a little bit lower down. Problem for opponent is I get to go Crew, Charm, Uh, and like, just, let's see. This is maybe a pinhole. Crew, Devil Charm. Click the Stargate. This is maybe not the most accurate line as I think about it. But it is frustrating for Disc Elemental at least. Let's get rid of the restore. The Beal draw is obviously not ideal, but I think it's okay. Restore could actually potentially allow them to put some ice back on the board, which I want to try and avoid. All right, Hollow Man on HQ. It's sliding. Oh, and now, oh no, the Beal's on the top, so it doesn't get hit there. Okay, Server 11 was just an agenda. That's sick. I genuinely, one of the coolest plays in Netrunner when you get to just outplay people that way. Oh, it's Stoke the Embers off of... In the third slot was the Stoke the Embers. My opponent just luck-sacked into that. That's sick. I mean, power to them. That's great. And now they get to install the Beal from hand. Server 11 is probably of Vladisibirsk. To install Rashida Jaheen from Archives. It's a counter on this. Is this a 2-1 that they've been just baking the whole game? I don't think it is. Okay. Oh, was the lower... No, there wasn't a Stoke in the top 3 that I saw, was there? No, I Stargated a Project Beal, Hollow Man, and Restore, and a Rashida of Vladisibirsk and a Beal. So the Stoke was just the third card there. This is Trash Spin Doctor. Run R&D. Run R&D. Let's run server 11. Oh, I'm letting Rashida fire here. I think I was actually supposed to not Stargate this turn. I'm like not playing this very well. Was there another Hollow Man? I don't think there was. I don't think there was another Hollow Man on the board. This server 11 has a Vlad grid and okay, predictive for 3. There's like a decent chance this is an agenda in archives, so it's like I did let him draw. I thought I let. Oh, you're right. I did let him draw one. That's true. Yeah, yeah. So that's probably server 13. Oh, it's not. Okay. So this is maybe a turn where I don't Stargate and I just go check, check. And I try and avoid trashing if I can, because trashing's a bit of a trap on this board state. Oh, I did trash it. Okay. I was like, I think the cohort can stay. I don't know that it's great for it to stay, but Okay, there was a second Hollow Man. That's wild. We'll get rid of the post-truth dividend. We'll run archives. See if we can grab some points. Virus is not great, but that's fine. It's not honestly the end of the world. Cohort, post-truth, YDL. So it's going to be... Oh, Spin Doctor was rezzed, not saving the one-pointer. Hollow Man and Restore, so we're trying to go for a fancy kickflip here. So server 1 probably does have a win in it. I feel like it's got to be a Vlad grid, though. What can he do to score 4 here? I feel like with nothing on the board, it's quite difficult. I guess if you cohort an agenda into archives, stoke with Epiphany onto server 1, putting the token on the Vlad grid. Advance doesn't do it. So we're just scoring a Beal. Okay. And what are we installing? I don't think it actually matters what we install. Like an ice on R&D doesn't actually do anything to me because I just install a Chisel Charm. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be Devil Charm. And then we're going to install a crew using Patchwork to pitch an Amakua. Now we... Oh, hold on that. Undo click. Now we click the Stargate. All Spin Doctors are gone. And there's the game. I guess there's some options where it doesn't end the game, but if there's like a moon pool, no, we know that that's a Vlad grid. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is like, you know, it's funny. We like definitely slowed down how quickly we went through the deck, and I don't know that that's always correct. I'm not even sure if the Stargate was actually correct. I think controlling the board is probably the more consistent way to play there. Like if we'd installed the daily cast instead, so we had 8 more credits throughout this whole mid game. And just like clear the whole board out of stuff and just like start running HQ, beating him down that way. That's maybe the like more consistent line. But I don't know. There's also a line where we just keep stargating all the agendas. Because I think we saw an agenda on every single Stargate hit, which could have made lives easier. But yeah. All right, we'll do one more of these, then maybe we'll play an Asa for some good times, and then I don't know. I'm getting frustrated easily about this, about playing runner side today. So, what I might do, one of the things I want to do is update my deck building video. and like try and make the version of it that everyone thinks they're clicking on, which is like how many ice should I put in my deck? How many agendas should I put in? How many econ cards should I put in? Because I think it's an interesting exercise to talk about what numbers you, because it's like, I think there's some interesting stuff where like it depends is the correct answer, but it doesn't, the number of exceptions are like, there's ranges for everything, and I think talking about those ranges could be helpful for people that want to try deck building, um, but don't don't want to spend a lot of time going through NRDB and looking at like, okay, how many econ slots do I need in my corp deck? How many ice slots do I need? Um, how do I identify what a win condition looks like? And I think there's like always going to be there's always a limit to deck building videos. Like there are decks that form their own rules and their own archetypes, um, but um, I think it's like new players aren't really expected to find that. So making a video that says, hey, if you want a deck build, the first thing I would recommend you do is net decking. That's what my other deck building video does, right? And then says, okay, you've decided to ignore that. Let's talk through how someone starts building a deck. And I probably will, I want to crib heavily from two pieces of prior art. Doomrat did a very nice Akiko build thing that I will probably crib from heavily. And I know that Tuno made Spike based, and that has some deck building advice in there as well. I suspect that guide is more about the like non-standard ways of building decks, and I think that's a useful thing to talk about in those, because I think it's somewhat easy to say, here's how you make good stuff PD, here's how you make good stuff Jinteki. Like, the good stuff style decks fall in a pretty consistent and narrow range, and then it's just about a lot about optimizing and choosing like what your payoff and win conditions and things are going to be. Um, but once you start branching out to more archetypes, like what you have to do starts becoming a bit broader. Um, and how we think about that's a little bit different. But yeah, I don't know. How's everyone? I was watching Andre's stream. He's convinced a ban list is about to come out. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. I'm excited to see what happens with Worlds. Um, Worlds is coming up. It's yeah, Solomir. I think thank you. That's the other part of the video that I think, I don't know. Maybe it's its own video of refining a deck list. Because I think there's two different ways to refine deck lists. One is to look at the deck and say, okay, what can I do to make it better? And then there's the like, how do I play a deck and find things that would like make it better? Like if I was to look at like this consume freedom list, what would I be wanting to do? I would say, man, this draw feels inconsistent. My econ feels like it's rough to get off the ground. Um, yeah, so I mean that's a good point. Is like starting with a list that I would build is maybe not correct. Um, but it's like, okay, like things I would want to do when I look at this list. Like this list is carefully tuned, and I think Pylo has landed on a list that can pilot very, very well. But for me, who is trying to learn this list and going, I'm finding some clunkiness here, I would probably go to 2 strike funds and 3 moshings and start cutting some of the other things around the edges. Um, Now, exactly what you cut, I think, is a little bit tricky here. Like, I think I would like probably cut the gachapon, so I'm kind of coming out even or behind on draw. Um, but yeah, um, it's a very interesting starting hand. It's like it's four really good cards. I think it's fine. The DJ Fenris is maybe even a card I'm going to throw out here. But we'll see. Like, to me, honestly, when I look at that freedom list, I'm like, the God of War is not the breaker you want. I think you want Amakua. I analyze Chris. I don't know if you saw earlier in the stream, I whiffed twice on 2 Gachapon hits, and the deck actually only has 14 hits, which does not feel like nearly enough for a 3 of. I think I'm going to just do a solo run on this. This is probably a Tranquility Grid, but if it's a Spin Doctor, I don't want to... Oh, wow. We're not icing the Rashida. That's very interesting. Well, okay, so this is Midnight 3 PD. Draw, okay. And then we're just going to sure gamble. This deck knocked you out of Nats. Yeah, and that's like, I haven't gotten to play against Pylu piloting the deck, which I think is like genuinely, I think makes it very difficult for me to evaluate it, because I think it is a deck that they are very good at, and I've not played against them playing it. And this is a meta that's very heavily decided by player comfort. I think that's like an interesting element to this meta. But yeah, I mean, I also like. Were you playing Kill NEH, Chris? Because like, I think it's very well tuned for Kill NEH. We played 3 games in a row against decks with a moderate amount of ice to a large amount of ice. Oh, you were playing Moonspeedy. Oh, interesting. I guess I could see why that works. I'm a little surprised it does, but it does make some sense. Draw. Okay. Yeah, opponent's not threatening stuff, so I can afford to go a little bit slow here. Yeah, we'll just throw out the Patchwork. And we'll just spend a click to get the Devil Charm down. Did you play Moon's PD at in Montreal as well? I guess with 5 credits, I could probably have checked R&D there for a click. I wouldn't have wanted to do it click 4. You don't really want to run against. Montreal was Kill NEH. So having played both, is there one that you prefer more, Chris? Because like one of those is like a Snare Bear deck, and the other is like a major meta deck. And I'm kind of curious how you feel about those. NEH is stronger in your opinion? Interesting. PD more flexible. Okay. That's an interesting distinction. I like it though. Okay, so we can run server 3 here, and with the Devil Charm, I'm kind of tempted to. Because if I can keep this PD on the back foot, like just play a control game, I think I'm pretty happy to do so. And like eventually the Amakua will start getting me into HQ and stuff. Wow, they're just letting me have the off-world. So this is probably a brand, and they didn't feel like spending 6 to let me like just run them over. There's not a lot of pressure for me to gain stuff. Okay, so we trash a Strike Fund, another Earthrise Crew, and a Stone Ship. Okay, that's fantastic. But I maybe should have waited. Man, this is I think actually super tough for my opponent, because next turn I can, like, if they don't put a threat down on the board, and honestly, even if they do, like, I probably pinhole the threat just to check it, and then I install DJ, blow up the Drafter on HQ, and just start like getting some DJ value on centrals. Because I feel like opponent is in a bit of a rough spot here. I feel like server 3 has to be an asset, but yeah, this deck, it's like I think this deck is quite strong. Like, I get why. No, I mean, I get why Jonas and I both didn't win anything with it because it can have some clunky draws. Um, but with 2 cards in there, do I just run this now instead? I think I just run this instead. Yeah, this deck is freaking a bully of a list. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, so what does this do? You may derez another installed piece of ice if you do the... It's +3 strength. Oh, that doesn't actually work. What? Okay, this is hilarious. I could, like... So they're not actually doing this, but it's... If you res a piece of ice during a run against the server, you may derez another installed piece of ice. So they could derez this drafter here. But I can actually chisel, crew, charm this. So I do have to go and do this now. So that's good. But yeah, that's wild. I'm glad to see people playing with this card. This is a card that maybe I should... It's funny, I'm like... I'm not in the like, oh, let's deck build and do some nonsense, but maybe we should just do some Brasilia Government Grid deck building. I feel like that's a card I did not give a chance. Oh, I feel so bad for opponent here. We're just bullying them up and down the board. Oof. I mean, this is brutal. I think actually maybe I just don't bother with the extra draw here. I guess I might just I might as well install the bones here, and we'll ditch a labor rights. How much works is this deck without Devil Charm? Oh, I don't think this deck functions without Devil Charm. I think if SBT decides to ban Devil Charm, this deck disappears. Like, you just functionally cannot blow things up fast enough without Devil Charm in the list. And it is possible to get locked out with Charm. It doesn't happen too often, but it can be a way that you lose sometimes. So, yeah. Man, this is a fucking bullying session. Like, I am paying what, a card and I'm paying 3 cards and 5 credits. No, 3 credits. To blow up an ice. So like, I don't know that this is like that's why it's not a little bit. That's why it's not like an absurdly strong deck, but like it's definitely a notable one. Oof. I feel bad for Nene there. We drew very well, and they definitely struggled. Ouch. Okay, well, I just had a weird idea, so I think we're gonna go... where is it? Deck building. Let's go to NetherDB. Oh, a little bit slow. Okay, we're gonna try and make a Brasilia Government Grid deck. Now, how are we gonna do this? My thought actually might be that we're going to play Architects of Tomorrow. And you might say, why? And I don't have a great answer, but I think it's synergy with the ID. Okay, so let's play 3 Brasilia Government Grids, right? And now we need our so we want Ansels, we want Ravanas, we want Brands. I think we want Eli's. We probably want 3 Eli's. I think we probably want border controls. There's no on-res cards that we really want. We could play a wave or two, but let's... is it S? Pyroid? I thought it was S for subtype. Oh, it probably is, but I needed... Okay. And we want standard. Not a lot of options, and I feel like I'm playing all of the good ones. Loki in Brasilia government grid is actually kind of cute, so we'll play one. We'll play one tier. Do I play a Noreen? No. Maybe I'll play a Nausea. But I don't feel like... Okay, so how many ice are we looking at here? This is 8, 12, 15. That's actually about the right amount of ice, but we're playing an ice-heavy deck. So we probably want some other ice. Probably it's just ablative barriers. Ablative barrier is, like, it's okay. We're really heavy on barriers. I think MIC is actually probably the obvious inclusion. Oh, Rhyme is a great shout. Okay. So this is probably too much ice now, right? But because this 8, 13, 16, 21 ice is too many ice. So we'll cut the Loki, I think. We cut the Loki. I kind of like the idea of a Loki. Maybe we'll cut down to 1 MIC. Maybe we cut the border controls. And now we're at a more reasonable 17 ice. I think this is a Vovo deck. I think Vovo is sick nasty here. I think we might be also an MCA deck. And then probably 2 Voids, 2 Managarm. We'll do 3 mana. We'll do 2 Managarms first because I think we're gonna need slots. Send a message. Ikoa Luminal seems like a good suite. Rashida, Regalith. Let's do 3 Regalists for now. That's why I'm putting a lot of money in it, Chris. We can also play hedge funds and greasing. Okay. Ablative with Brasilia seems busto. So it's... I put an ablative... I think the problem with it... Wait. Do I want Adrian Saiz? If I'm gonna like, because I guess my issue with ablative is what am I reinstalling that the runner cares about? Oh, I probably want some spin doctors, don't I? Okay, we'll cut some cards in a minute. And what can I do? Is there any one influence card? Honestly, probably, I think a single Mavirus seems good here. Okay, so we need to cut 4 cards here. Maybe we can cut the MIC, but I don't love making there being no non-Ravana code gates. You know what? I think the tier is inconsistent with our game plan. I don't think we have enough money for it either. Like, we have so much in our ice curve here. Maybe we don't need 3 Vovos. $11 upgrades does seem excessive. Imagine a 10 strength tier though. I mean, okay, we're playing silly Netrunner, right? So let's find slots for the tier. I don't want to cut the greasing, but it does kind of feel like the card that doesn't make any sense here. We're also, like, strictly slow advancing or scoring off of MCA. Maybe we only need 2 MCAs. And 1 greasing. Yeah, 11 upgrades and no Trank Grid does feel bad. No, we're going to commit to the bit and play 3 Vovos. No, we want it like this. Okay, let's take some test draws, and then we'll see what this looks like. Okay. Test draw. AOT reduces by 4 when they pass, so we can go... I mean, install brand on remote. Let's take our mandatory draw. I mean, this is like, it's slow, but it's playable. I think turn 1 is like Rhyme on R&D, Eli on HQ, click for a credit. Next turn, install brand, install Regalith, click it 1 time. They run through the brand somehow. We res the Eli for free. I mean, this is playable. This hand's not playable. Okay, maybe it is. Now it's not. We might end up wanting sprints in this list. But like this as a turn 1 is okay. This is a bad hand. Now it's an okay hand. Now it's like a pretty decent hand. I mean, this is like looking... This is the first time we've drawn the Brasilia, and this draw does seem like ass. Okay. This is an interesting draw. It's like Rashida, Loki, click for a credit. 3-pointer deck with no punitive threat. Yeah, I mean, we could do it. I just don't think we have enough money, and I would rather play Void because this deck's gonna go so slow. Is there any other like res effect ice that we care about? What on res effects are there? There's Stavka, there's Halfrun, there's Ping, there's Ablative, there's Gatekeeper. Yeah, maybe we play Gatekeeper instead of MIC. That actually seems pretty reasonable. Do we play 2 Gatekeepers in a single rhyme? Serevna, Klovetnik, and an enemy. Klovetnik having a resurgence. Things I never thought would happen for 5,000. We'll call this Brasilia government reform because we respect the lore here. Okay, this is going to be terrible viewing experience, I think. What is this? Like, I cannot imagine a deck that's going to be less fun to play. Or less fun to watch, I should say. That's not quite true. There are worse ones out there. Maybe while we're waiting and while we're playing, we can start trying to come up with what's the on-res effect. Like, can you do like a half-run thing where I have 2 half-runs and I take turns turning off your breaker of choice? Does that work? Wait, that seems quite silly. If I can get 2 half runs in the person, it doesn't actually work because I think on the run back the wrong one is rezzed, and also I have to keep trashing cards from my hand. But that's very funny. Half run is still breakable by 2 types, so it's I res the first one, name 1 breaker, Res the second one, deresing the first one, name the other type so that I've beaten both types by the time they get the second half run. I'm resing this for free because of Vovo. And then they run back. I res flipping this way. And then flip back. Yeah, I'm talking about a 2 half-run remote. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Oh, but Brasilia Government crits only once per turn. Oh, that's a bummer. So I can't do that. You just always name the Sentry Breaker and there's a roto turret at the end. Yeah, that's true too. Are there any fun click taxing things? Oh, and Brazil is enough. Man, did this card get really nerfed into the ground? No, Brasilia is just another installed piece of ice. It does not have the safety clause. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, ablative might be the right... Like, ablative in this list could be interesting. Like, probably I should go back to my roots and play, like, Brasilia Asa, and then just be like, ooh, I'm turning ablatives up and down, and, like, you just always put an ablative on R&D, and then the runner's sad, because if they ever run your scoring remote, you get to de-res an ablative and, like, do all that stuff. And maybe you can play Warm Reception, just like go all in on the res deck. Excuse me. I would love an ID that turned Corp card trashing into like more tempo. Oh wait, are you thinking of Pulse for click tax rather than Wave? Because Pulse is definitely an interesting shout. Oh, let me actually... I set up all the tech and then didn't use it once. So let's pull in the tech. Oh, no. Oh, right, because I'm in the wrong. Pull in the tech. Pulse. Is that rounded on the edges? I cannot tell. I don't think it is. Why is that not rounded on the edges? Oh, no, it is. No, it's not. Hold on. Ah! Shoot. Oh, I think I know why, maybe? Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Not a lot's happening here, so we're just gonna do this live. Filters, rounded mask. Ah, that's why the mask location changed, and it doesn't error on me. That is a bummer. OBS assets and now it's rounded. Yay! And let's just look up something like what's an FFG card? Patchwork. Wonderful. Lucille, that is a-okay. If you want to jump in, I'd be happy to play. You can play whatever you'd like. Yeah, like Pulse in a click tax deck sounds totally fine. Oh no, it sounds kind of interesting. Okay, let's turn off this Pulse image. I don't think this is a hand we want to keep. Arasana, I'm always excited to see some Arasana. I mean, this is actually... I mean, it's a playable hand. I don't think it's a hand we want. Whereas this is a hand I think we want. Okay. So, I think this is... Bran R&D, Eli HQ, click for a credit. Oh, I should upgrade my stream and round my face, too. Instead of having this square crop, just... have a nice little round, or maybe just a rounded like I'm a card frame. Oh, you know what? That's what we're going to do for the last hour. We're going to go back and... Much better. No, we're going to do the Rigo next turn. This deck, we're going to go very slow. I think next turn is install Rigo, install Bran, click for a credit, because maybe we just rest the Rigo and click it. Do I want to res the brand here? No. Jeff, maybe I'm not bright, but why are we clicking for credits so that we could res the brand, right? Well, am I missing something? Like the first time you click Regolith, it's the same. And I feel like we have an ice setup to go very, very slow here. And so I'd rather set up stuff so I don't lose randomly on centrals. I feel like I'm the one who's being silly here, where I'm like, everyone's calling me out for this Regolith. Because if I go install, click the Regolith, install an ice, I lose my AOT value. And I care about my AOT value. Brand is actually better than Ansel this early. But yeah, I like with a 6, a 3, and a 6, like, I don't know, I felt a little bit funky here. Okay, DZMZ, we also saw, wow. This is the style I like quite a bit. 3 credits. Yeah, I do need to actually res this here. Click through it, Lucille. Click through it, Lucille. Give me that AOT value. I think Lucille is going to do a good job. Why res the Rigo is just a click for a credit. Okay, well, apparently I can't win either way. If I res it, it's a problem. If I click for a credit, it's a problem. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking click for a credit, threaten the Rashida. I do actually think you kind of have to do this no matter what. I think it is actually better to click for the credit there so that opponent maybe like pinholes or like, because actually if Lucille's a pinhole here, I'm pretty sad. Oh, let's just not hit the send a message, please. No! Oh, that's tragic. Okay, we're gonna res this Bran. And then what we're gonna do is be very spiteful. We're gonna trash this, install an HQ. We're gonna trash this, install on server 1, and we're gonna threaten an Eli that we don't have. Threaten the Eli and the Ravana, so you know it's fine. It's fine. Wow, this Arasana list looks pretty familiar. It's gonna be sad to lose this MCA here. So the reason I wanted to trash this is because the UAV decks tend to be very dependent on using the UAV. And I'm playing a longish game. I felt like Lucille was on not that many credits, and if she wants to trash this, she can. And so now we're both just poor. And I think that probably favors me a little bit, but we're about to find out. So I think this might just be credit, install Vovo. Because basically, like, she would be 2 credits ahead of where she is right now and have a Slap Vandal available. Which, you know, honestly, Slap Vandal, I don't know that I care about. But, like, now she would be 4 credits ahead on this turn. Yeah, this is actually... One click, I can res this. This is nice. Um, hey, Thanos, we're trying to play Brasilia Government Grid, if you believe it or not. Um, and I decided that AOT was the obvious solution so I can get maximum value out of it. Um, okay, this is great. Now I get to install this Regalith back in server 1, and Lucille cannot trash either of these cards. Vovo has text, right? He's threat 4? What was NSG thinking? Why? Why did they do this to Vovo? I need. This is one of those ones where I want to write, but I'm not often right in playtesting. But I say Vovo only being good at 4 was. It's no longer an Eli analyze, Chris, because I overrode it to trash a Cubon. Um, yeah, we'll move Vovo to HQ here. Oh my goodness. No, but it's, it was just the other day. I forget, there was some other card that was being discussed, and I was like, oh, I was completely wrong about this card, and dev team was right. And that is the frequent outcome when it comes to evaluating cards in playtesting. I think playtesting is pretty full at the moment, but if you're interested in playtesting, I always advise, if you want to playtest but want no responsibilities, you can stick around for after this game, where we're going to go over to the set I started designing last year, and we're going to do some revisions for it now that a new set is out, and we'll try and get this put together. But yeah, Vovo. This is one of those cards where, like, I remember playing this in ASA a lot in playtesting. And sometimes I think if I like a card, I shouldn't play it in playtesting. Because if I play it in ASA, people start to complain. And I think that's because of ASA, not because of any of the cards. Oh, okay, we have our combo piece. We just need a piece of ice to go with it. Oh, that's actually one of the great pieces of ice to go with it. So we'll do this in server 1. And this in server 1. Okay. Do I move Vovo here? Let's say yes. Yeah. My biggest concern is if Lucille, like, does run HQ here, I could get hosed real bad. I'm about to get hosed real bad. uh oh no. Amusingly, I don't actually have. There's not a super valuable D-res here. Uh, I wonder if I was supposed to actually put this Brasilia grid on HQ first. Oh, you know what this deck actually wants? Fuck, I might just lose here. Or not just lose, but I'll be very close to losing. Um, okay, my one of my virus, like, now is your time to shine. Okay. Now, we cannot res this tier, but we're not going to worry about that. If Viscerum wasn't a virus, I'm pretty sure the entire Shaper card pool would have been emergency banned by now. When your J-Net opponent starts monologuing like the big bad evil guy, you know shit's about to get real. Okay, so one thing I'm discovering is the strength of my ice doesn't matter too much here. Just got E-Ban Ashen just to be sure. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. So, amusingly, I think click 1, run server 1 gets Lucille in here. Prognostic heal. Oh my goodness, this deck is okay, wait. I need this list after this game. It genuinely looks like a deck I should have built. I did not try Q. So I like dismissed Q Loop Arasana as bad before RWR came out. Oh, sick. And then like RWR came out with just a bunch of cracked cards, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should take a look at this again. But yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, Prognostic Q Loop. Probably, I'm betting Baramu was running 2 UAVs. Let's go. Actually, you know what? Let's just go and find this quickly. That's Shiat. Baramu, sick. Okay, yeah, 2 Aesops, 2 UAVs, 3 environmental testings, 1 Nuka. This looks actually like a good list. Yeah, maybe we're gonna play this next week. This is maybe I'm gonna sleeve this up. Okay, Propeller on a Muse. Q-Loop Ari is great, but Reg Ari is like 90% there anyways. Yes, I agree, Solomir. Like, I think just playing Reg Lat, but in Ari is probably better. But I love me an engine. I just love me a value engine. So it's not rational. It's just what I want to play. Can we E-ban like all of RWR? I don't think that's going to solve any problems, honestly. I think RWR has oh, sorry. I think RWR is largely not the problem cards. I think it's a little bit of... Okay, so I'm resing this for 6 less. Amusingly, my Brasilia government grade's like just not doing anything. Garbage. Total garbage. Oh my god. I don't even want to res. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I guess Gatekeeper is for the remainder of the turn, but I actually want my Brasilia government grid trigger here. Yeah, come at this tier, please. Funny thing that at least Vova was on now. Oh, that's true. Vova was on. We're just down 6-0. This deck actually wants to have a second remote and put a Cyber Sand Harvester in it. So we're gonna, maybe we're not, okay. We'll do a poll after this as to whether or not I should play more of this absolute pile of garbage. Or we should finish. We should try and build some sets. Do a set build thing. Okay. We're gonna do the one powerful thing this deck is capable of doing, which is scoring Luminal Transubstantiation sometimes. And then we're gonna click for 3 credits. Yeah, why couldn't Brasilia Government Grid at least cost them money so I could feel okay about using Fofo with it? Lily Pad comes down. Okay. Coalescence comes down. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I would change is I would swap this DZMZ for a Lily Pad. I'm not sure if I would play the Slot Vandal, but it's not bad. And the rest of this looks great. I would probably play Sure Gambles of Creatives and find some space for Laundries. Draw. Okay. I think we just have to cook this Ikawa. Jemison has like what? 2 legal targets and they don't add up to enough to make a full deck. Right? Or am I thinking of Jemison is the face-up one? No, that's SSO. Jemison's the forfeit one. Right, right. Credit, hedge fund. Let's stick a Loki on server 1, 2 here. Yeah, Jemison has 3 targets. No, I did forget my divert power. That actually might be solid here. No, because I want, or no, yeah, because I do want res triggers. How am I going to de-res this tier and then re-res it for 8? Wait, no. Okay, I res this Loki for 4 and then re-res this tier for another 4. So if I get to 8, I can then start. Okay. So Rashida's not going to do anything for me for a long time. So we're going to ice R&D and click for 2 more credits. Still not moving Vovo. I do think we get ground out here if we keep going. But we are going to basic action card it up this game. I think this is... So I want to be on 8... I want to be on 9 credits when I start... When I'm done advancing this. So that I can Brasilia Government Grid, flip, flop, flip. And maybe I want to get a Brasilia government grid also on HQ. I'm like in actual trouble. I don't even know that that makes this that much better. Fuck. I want to install this rhyme so badly. I so want to install this rhyme, but I can't. Don't worry about this. Yeah. I think I can outpace you. But just imagine if we had a Cyber Sand behind a rhyme here. Just imagine. I could have saved so many credits. Yeah, we're gonna have to play the Cyber Sand Harvester thing once. Oh yeah, if I can get an Analytic Void, this matchup actually becomes pretty real. Conduit, frankly, I don't think I'm worried about. Maybe I should be worried about Conduit. Maybe I should be worried about Conduit. It's fine. There are 4 of our 7 agendas are gone. So there's no way Lucille wins here. There's no way. It's impossible for Lucille to win here. Impossible. It's just not gonna happen. We never lose here. You know, not finding a single Ravana feels like I've been cheated a little bit. Let's go, Mavirus! Okay. So if I don't have any code gates. I have the 8 credits. So I can do the flicker. Oh wait, hold on. Shoot. Can we undo click? I forgot to res the whole point of the deck. No comment. Oh my goodness. Oh, I actually don't get to re-res the tier though. That's very funny. Because I'll have spent the trigger resing this Ancel. Okay. We're not going to res the tier though, but we are going to res the Gatekeeper. Okay. We're going to res Loki. And we'll de-res the tier. uh... 26. Yeah, it's funny. When they encounter the Loki, I actually have to choose Bran. Six strength Loki. I don't hate it, honestly. Oh, and I get to put the rhyme down. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, rhyme. Oh yeah, let's go. I do. I promise you, I do. Oops. Now you can Loki the rhyme and keep it unbreakable by normal breakers. Oh, you're right, Kevin. Wait, that's so sick. Oh, I don't think Lucille has a solution to Oh no, Lucille, amusingly, Kevin, this is the one deck in the entire no, this is one of the two decks in the entire metagame, I think, where I can't do that. Because this deck has a Slap Vandal in it. It also has a Physarum, so that won't work. Against any non-Amakua, I guess Amakua God of War. So all of the runner decks we've seen today can beat that, but I feel like the Lat can, excuse me, cannot beat that, which is I think very very funny. Um, yeah, Slap Vandal Physarum does beat Loki because Physarum says non if the host ice is not a barrier. So if Lucille installs a Physarum and then I choose the Bran, then it can get they can Lucille she can just break it with a propeller. Oh, Lat can Pelongi it. That's true. Well, that's what my virus is for. We'll just play that game. But I always lose that game because Runner has continuous paidability windows. But that's fine. We're not going to worry too much about it. Physarum coming down. Okay, okay. I think Physarum was even before the Loki trigger. Oh yeah, that's true, Kevin. So I'm just complete. Is this the third trick shot? No, this is Turbine. Okay. Do I want to res? I don't think I want to use AOT here. This is why I need Cyber Sand, so I can always res a thing. Because I don't want to res the Loki right now. Or the tier right now. I want to have an 11 strength tier. I really want an 11 strength tier. I think it would be very funny to have an 11 strength tier and then lose. No deck in the meta can deal with it. Just every deck in the most popular faction, also anyone with Amakua. But who apart from that? Yes, indeed. Indeed. Okay, we're going to install this Ravana on R&D. And then we're going to click for 2 more credits because we're pro gaming. This is what I need the Cyber Sand Harvester for. For the content. Ravana 1.0. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, but can they deal with a 4 strength Loki? It's funny. There were metas where like all mythic ice was a thing, and like there was not that many decks in the meta that could routinely deal with it. But I think that ship has long since sailed. Okay, 20 credits. Lucille passes Loki. I need to get a rhyme on this server now, too. So this only costs 1 credit to break, so it's not worth me spending 3 on here. I will just take my free res. And lose anyway. I do get to purge here if this doesn't work. And that purge will be expensive for Lucille. Or Lucy. I always say Lucille, and that's just not her name. And I need to stop doing this. It is Lucy. I'm sorry, Lucy, when you watch this back later. And hopefully you're coming to Worlds, or next year I meet you in a European world somewhere. Is this the Ikoa access? Is this the long Ikoa think? Ooh, 6 credits. 6 credits. This might be happening. We may have ground out the runner. There's only credits there, and 1 more creative, 1 more trick shot. All right, purge it up. Okay, next turn is credit, advance. Because this deck is so bad. No, Chris, we haven't trashed the runner's resource, so we have not taken everything on the basic action card. But you're right. Otherwise, yeah, that's why we're losing. It's because we haven't taken the last action on the basic action card. Yep, selling Cupulation I think makes a lot of sense. I'm not getting any agendas in hand. Installing another environmental testing, that's bad. That's pretty bad. That's a lot of credits right there. Ooh. 2 Ikas is actually really good here. Okay. Advance. Click for a credit. Never. Yeah, exactly. This is like the. I mean, this honestly, is peak. Like, are you sure content? This is peak. Are you sure stuff? But yeah, no. This runner is like has the game completely locked down. And yeah, this is like I do get it. Like it is weird. It is also 2 a.m. for Lucy. So like it's fine. It's just so funny. Yeah, Trashing the Conduit is a really heads up play. I actually like it a lot. It did its damage, and you're probably not going back into R&D. Actually, are you going back into R&D? Like with the cleaver and the double Ika, like this ends up costing you. You host one Ika on the Ancel. You break this for 1. You break this for 2, and then you break this for 4. So you're spending 5 to get into R&D net. I might actually keep the conduit there now that I think about it. Lucille also just got to 29 credits. I don't think I'm keeping you out. But I think I want to do this because it's going to be so freaking funny. Um, uh, we're having a great time bluffing and playing an absolute pile over here. You've had this locked for like 20 turns. 10 turns. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, you don't actually need to do this. Oh, but yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm only on 2. Okay, so the best thing for me to name here is Sentry. Yeah, Sentry's just the best. Resing the Rhyme here doesn't do anything. And Brasilia is whenever I res a piece of ice during a run against the server. Yeah. This is going to be very funny when I res an 11 strength tier and then the runner breaks it for 3 credits. You know, an NGO honestly might be better than a Rashida in this deck. uh... Oh, oops, sorry. Okay, so this one game is going to, and then yeah, add the hush back to hand, I guess. Okay, so I choose and sell. So this is a destroyer sentry. So Ika gets hosted. Then spends 1 to break, or 2 to break. So Brasilia is a once per turn ability, which would be sick if it wasn't, but yeah, we were joking earlier. Uh, okay, so now I do get to res this tier. D-res another piece of ice. We're gonna D-res this. Oh, I guess I could have res the rhyme, but then that's okay. Oh yeah, 1 credit. Let's go, rhyme. All it takes is a Trieste. Trieste loses to Ficerum. Like, this is the amazing thing. I've worked this in, we've set up this entire game to get this 11 strength tier, and then we're just gonna beat it for 3 credits. I've worked so hard for that 11 strength ice. Ugh. I actually wonder if it would be cheaper to break with Ika. Right? Ika would boost for 10, 6. No, it wouldn't be cheaper. 6. So it'd be 8 to break versus 7 to break. We actually did drain almost 20 credits on this run, even with the runner beating our 11 strength tier for nothing. Ugh. There are not Stegodons in this list, Aria. 44 minutes, 17 turns. Oof. Brutal. We lose on time. We lose at without time. Uh, nice. Maybe Stegodon is what we should play instead of Luminal. Okay. Because this game went 44 minutes, I think that's going to have to be it. I cannot play another 44-minute game. We'll have to play it next week. Hey, Lucy. Oh, this is why I call you Lucille. Okay. I like freaked out in the middle of the game going like, your name's not Lucille, it's Lucy or LL Blumere. And I'm like, oh wait, no, this is why I say Lucille sometimes. Okay. Thank you for the game. That was hilarious. This is the deck we were running. It is terrible. It is meant to be Brasilia Government grid, and then just like flip flop, flip flop, flip flop all the ice. It did not work at all, as you may have noticed. But I'm gonna try. The version you just played against had 2 Anoetic Voids. I'm gonna try it with 2 Cyber Sand Harvesters at some point. In the meantime, I'm going to try and play a game in 15 minutes. And I think this is a game I can play in 15 minutes. I may lose in 15 minutes, but I think I can play it in 15 minutes one way or the other. I'm a little sad that I got my... Like, Andre asked me I guess Andre asked me to be on stream like once during Swiss. It was not on the ASA, and I declined because I have something like a 0% win rate on stream. It's not actually true, but it's in Swiss. It actually I think might be true, or I might have like one win against Pincel in Swiss, and then every other time I've been on stream in Swiss, it's been a loss. Um, in cuts, I've been okay. Uh, and then he asked me to do my stream game against Arizon, who then had a 0% draw for him. He then went and beat me on Andre's stream last week. I think that was a little bit unlucky for me, but oh, this is a tough one. I think this is a barely keepable hand. If I draw a cheap ice, it's a great keep. It's not a cheap ice. No, this is not what we do. Okay. We're gonna go Nico campaign, brand on HQ, click for a credit. Let's not just like die to diversion of funds at random for fun. Against the deck that wants to play run events. Turn 1 prepaid. Pretty good for Ebentel. Class Act. Very nice. Okay, Ebentel's not going to have the credits to go and deal with this Nico campaign. So I get a credit off of Nico campaign. We're going to click... No, we're just going to do... New Remote, Tranquility Home Grid, res the Spin Doctor, install a Drafter, install Rashida just right away. Let's not waste any tempo. Ablative is going to go on R&D because Ablative on a central server is actually very frustrating for a lot of runners. Especially against Criminal on R&D, like it can have some nice timing things. Oh, got a lot of archives value on that run. Just a nice little gain 6, 7, 8 even. Or no, just 7. Are we going to trash the Nico here? We're not trashing the Nico. That's interesting. That's interesting. I guess we're just trying to set up, right? That's the idea. My virus might be good here, but it also might be completely dead. I feel like Kentenmas are usually not playing Amakuas, but I do think Amakua is quite good. It's one of the cards I really have to worry about, frankly. Okay. So the Movirus is probably not super live, but it's not... It has some stuff, some play anyways. Well, that's a draw. I think I actually want to... I have enough money to bluff this Tranquility as a Manic Arm. I think that's the play. Yeah. I think this is actually the line. This is a very nice turn 3 board state, and we're about to draw 5 cards next turn, which feels pretty decent. Yeah, Super. I don't know that that's even a bad idea. It is not what I'm expecting to see a lot of. Okay. Pick your poison here, Ebentel. Got him! Let's go! It worked! Oh man, that feels good. This is the Andre special, even though it's a deck. It is it is my favorite play that I won't stop talking about. Um, that I did in semis at Euros in 2022, I want to say. I think amusingly, I actually draw a card off of this Project Vitruvius install. I'm going to draw, because if I get something good, that goes there. Okay, that's a bummer. Let's fully up and draw. And draw. And gain 2. And put down a Spin Doctor naked. And we'll ditch. I think these viruses are well and truly dead now. I might want the Nico campaign. I think it's I think I want to avoid having to pop the Spin Doctor here. I think the Ansel and the MIC are more annoying than the Gatekeeper, so we're going to do it this way. What I really want is a freaking Wage Workers. Okay, all breakers down, only 3 credits. Awake Kurapira into a Dr. Nuka. Losing a Boomerang is actually quite nice for me. I honestly, with E-Benzel at 2 credits, I'm very, very tempted to greed here. Ranres is fine here. Because I think it fires. And that lets me get another piece of ice on HQ. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, great. So we'll put the Gatekeeper down on HQ. Then we'll fire this Rashida. Come on. No Wage Worker still. No Wage Workers still. Okay. Well, this is all right. This is all right. We're still okay here. So we're going to go new remote and sell Nico campaign in server 3. And I have, what is this? 5, 8. Wow, this server is fucking nothing. 11, 14, 20 credits worth of liabilities on the board. So let's gain 8 credits here. I don't think we're going to need the hedge fund, though. And I think actually we discard the Vitruvius. Because I want to just keep the win in hand, basically. Actually, it was supposed to be discard the off-world because I don't know that I'm actually going to... Like, I still don't have the Wage Workers. But that's okay. This is a security testing run, so I don't need to pop the Spin Doctor. I probably should actually just throw an ice on Archives. It's generally better, I think, to leave the Spin Doctor in Archives. It probably does tell Ebentel that there is an ablative on the board, and probably that it's on R&D, but we don't know that for certain. Okay. Okay, Luminal's actually quite good here. So whatever I install is going to get bounced back to my hand, basically, is what's going to happen here. So on the let's install the luminal here. This is probably wrong, but that's okay. Tranquility home grid will gain 2. We'll install this on server 1. And then, yeah, rudder bounces that back to my hand. That's not shocking here. 19 credits, so we have more liabilities than we have credits right now. I think that's going to be okay, because it's going to be install luminal, install MIC, power up the fully op. Evental does have credits, so this server isn't technically safe, but we can make it expensive for Evental here. Okay, Boomerang is definitely interesting. We're bravadoing. I think I'm just going to let you have this, because my ablative barrier is not functional yet. And this is not a wake implant run. There's 4 of the 10 agendas in play, so it feels okay. You know what? I think this is okay. I think we're just gonna rip it. Advance, advance, advance. Score. Let's put Rashida in a new remote. And opponent needs to decide what to Hermes here. Ice protecting HQ, okay. 15 credits. They can probably get in. But, let's make him do it. Asa, more like Glacia. Hey, Jadira, how you doing? I think actually Ebental probably is in here. Brand costs only a little bit. Ooh, oh, okay. I guess if you steal the off-world, I'm pretty sad here. It's funny, if they inside jobs, I think he's just straight up in. We'll res the ablative. I think I'll install the spin doctor in a new remote. No need to defend it though. I could get punished here. I could reduce my odds. Oh, I guess I am giving this ablative barrier some like this ablative barrier has to get overwritten if I don't win immediately here. Let's go, R&D. Let's go. Okay, that's the game. Well, that took 15 minutes. Not even. Oh, I should have res the Rashida, but turn 8. Let's go. Okay. Where were our agendas? Because there's a lot. I guess there's now 2 in our hand and still 3 in the deck. Like, we got lucky there. We definitely got lucky there. But yeah. This is why I love Ace. And, like, in a tournament, do I send it there? Honestly, maybe. But I don't think I actually need to. I think the actual play is, like, score the Luminal, ice up R&D, ice up archives, and put the Rashida in server 2. Get value out of the Rashida, because we do get the Hollow Man triggers. We have 2 Manic Arms in the deck. We just can't find them. Like, there's some decent stuff. I kind of wonder if you can, like, if I was to play this again, I might drop the Tatubola and 1 Mavirus for a border control. I think it would give the deck some real punishing reach. And then I don't know what you do with the 1 slot you get back. Maybe I would put in my favorite card, Vovo Zeddy. Maybe you put in a second Biotic. I don't think that's true. Or you put in the second Hedge Fund, and so the deck's just more consistent. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. I will see you all next week. I am now done traveling until Worlds happens. And so I hope to be back to more regular streaming, at least up to Worlds. And yeah, I'll see y'all till then. Or every Tuesday until then, hopefully. Have a good night, everyone.